Welcome to where stories teach you real English and real life. WooEnglish. In this audiobook, you will learn how to build wealth, not by being lucky, but by being smart. The story is true. It's about one man, one salary, and one big dream: to stop being poor and start living rich. Along the way, you'll learn English, understand money, and maybe change your life too. So get ready. Chapter 1. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be rich. Not super rich, just comfortable. To pay my bills, to help my family, to maybe, one day, buy a car. I had a job. I had a salary. But by the middle of the month, the money was gone. Every time. Why? I didn't waste my money. At least, that's what I thought. I didn't buy expensive clothes. I didn't travel. I didn't party every weekend. But still, my wallet was always empty. And what shocked me more, some of my friends had the same salary, same job, same bills. But they were saving money. One friend even joined a savings club. Another one was helping his family and investing in a small tuk-tuk business. All from the same salary as me. How? What did they know? That I didn't? At first, I thought, maybe I just have bad luck. Maybe they had fewer problems. Maybe their families were richer. But deep inside, I knew that wasn't true. I decided to investigate. I wanted to find the answer. So I started watching them, listening to them, asking questions. And slowly, the truth appeared. It wasn't about how much we earned. It was about how we used it. I was making small mistakes every single day. And I didn't even see them. A daily coffee here, a food delivery there, a small gift, a small snack, a ride instead of a walk. It all added up. My friend Ibrahim, for example, made simple choices. He brought breakfast from home. He shared internet bills with his cousin. He avoided things he didn't need. And me? I ordered breakfast to the office every day. I didn't even like the food. But everyone else was doing it. So I did too. That was my first mistake. I spent money to feel normal. Not because I needed something, not because I loved it, but because I wanted to fit in. I wanted people to say, he's cool, he's generous, he's not cheap. But in the end, I was the one feeling poor. So I made a decision. I would stop. Not stop living, but stop wasting. I didn't want to feel ashamed of my spending. I wanted to feel proud. But how? How do you control your money when your money is already too little? I tried to make a budget. I opened Excel. I wrote salary, rent, food, bills, phone, transport. I said to myself, this month, I will follow this plan. It lasted 1 week. Then I gave up. It was boring. It was hard. It didn't feel real. I needed a better way. And that's when I discovered something amazing. A book. It was called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I didn't expect much, but it changed everything. The author said, You don't need a budget. You need a spending plan. What's the difference? A budget tells you, don't buy this, don't enjoy that. Stop, stop, stop. But a spending plan says, use your money with purpose. Spend with joy. Spend with peace. Spend wisely. That idea shook me. I didn't want to live poor forever, but I also didn't want to live like a robot. So I kept reading, and I made a new goal, not to become a millionaire overnight, but to stop being broke, confused, and ashamed. That was the first step. It wasn't about getting more money. It was about becoming more aware. Because if you don't know where your money goes, you will never know where your future is going. Next time, I'll share what I learned from that book. It's simple, it's powerful, and it might be the answer you need. But first, look at your wallet, look at your habits, and ask yourself, do I spend my money, or does my money spend me? Chapter 2. The Invisible Mistakes. You don't become poor in one day, and you don't become rich in one day either. It happens slowly, very slowly. One choice here, one habit there, and before you know it, you're in a trap. After I finished the book, I sat with myself. I asked a hard question. What am I doing wrong? Not just big mistakes, but small ones, tiny ones, the ones we don't see, the invisible mistakes. I made a list, and what I found shocked me. I was spending money on things I didn't even enjoy. Example: breakfast at work. Every day, someone in the office collected money. They ordered food, sandwiches, juice, snacks. And me? I joined. Every time. Even when I wasn't hungry, even when I had eaten at home. Why? Because I didn't want to be the different one. I didn't want them to say, why isn't he paying? Is he poor? Is he cheap? So I paid for a breakfast I didn't want, for food I didn't even like, every day, month after month. That's mistake number 1. Spending to please others. We don't notice it, but it's everywhere. We buy clothes to impress, phones to show off, shoes, brands, even cars. Not for comfort, but for attention. And guess what? No one cares. People forget what you wore yesterday, but your bank account remembers. Mistake number 2, spending without thinking. You go out. You see something small, a drink, a snack, a little gift. It's cheap, you say. It's just 20 pounds. But you say that 10 times a week. And suddenly, you're 200 pounds down. Gone. No memory, no value. Just small leaks in a big ship. Mistake number 3? Trying to copy people richer than you. You see your friend with an iPhone. You want one too. You see your neighbor going on vacation. Now you want to travel too. But are they in your situation? Do they have your salary, your responsibilities, your goals? Number. So why are you copying them? It's like a runner with broken shoes, trying to race someone with a car. You'll only feel tired and disappointed. These mistakes are dangerous, not because they make you poor, but because they make you feel confused. You ask yourself, where did my money go? Why am I always broke? What's wrong with me? The answer is, nothing is wrong with you. You're just not seeing the whole picture. I decided to stop, to change, but I didn't want to live like a monk. I didn't want to say no to everything. I just wanted to be smart. So I created a rule. Before I buy anything, I ask, do I love this? Do I need this? Will I remember this tomorrow? If the answer is no, I don't spend. Simple, but powerful. I also started writing things down. Not every penny, just the important things. Rent, groceries, bills, family help, fun, and for the first time ever, I saw the truth. I wasn't poor. I was just distracted. My money wasn't the problem. My awareness was. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, write everything. Not just how much, but why. Why did you buy that snack? Why did you take that Uber? Why did you order that food? You'll be surprised. Because when you find your invisible mistakes, you find your power. In the next chapter, I'll tell you why most budgets fail and what actually works. It's not about control. It's about clarity. Are you ready? Chapter 3. Budgets don't work. Let's be honest. Have you ever made a budget? Have you ever followed it for more than 1 week? I tried. I made a perfect Excel sheet. It had colors, formulas, boxes for everything. Rent, food, phone, clothes, savings, entertainment. I looked at it and thought, this is it. This month, I will be rich. I was excited, but after 5 days, I gave up. Why? Because real life doesn't follow boxes. Because life is full of surprises. Because I was tired. Tired of writing down every cup of tea. Tired of saying no to small things. Tired of feeling guilty. Budgets for me felt like diets. They tell you, don't eat this. Don't enjoy that. Be strict. Be serious. But then one day, you break the rule. You eat the chocolate. You buy the thing. And then, you feel like a failure. You say, I broke the budget. I'm bad. And you quit. That's why most budgets don't work. Not because they are wrong, but because they are hard. They don't match our real lives. So, what does work? A new idea. Something I learned from a smart man named Ramit Sethi. He wrote a book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. He said, you don't need a budget. You need a conscious spending plan. What does that mean? It means you decide on purpose how to spend your money before you spend it. You don't track every small expense. You just give your money a job. And then let it work for you. Imagine your salary is £8,000. Now split it into 4 parts. 60% for fixed needs, rent, food, transport, bills, school, anything you must pay. 10% for saving for the future, for emergencies, for peace of mind. 15% for investing, to grow your money. Slowly, in a business, in skills, or even in a small project. 15% for fun. Yes. Fun. Things you love. Things that make you happy. Without guilt. This plan is not about restriction. It's about balance. You are not saying no to life. You are saying yes, but with control. You don't have to feel bad for buying a good coffee or going out once a week. You planned for it. You allowed it. And that changes everything. Before, when I spent money on fun, I felt guilty. Now, I feel free. Because I know I already saved. I already invested. I already paid the important stuff. So this little joy, it's not a problem. It's part of the plan. This method made me feel powerful. I wasn't lost anymore. I didn't ask, where did my money go? I knew where it went. Because I told it where to go. Let me give you an example. Let's say your fixed needs are £4,800. That's 60%. You save £800. You invest £1,200. And you have £1,200 for fun. That's a movie, a dinner out, a new book, a gift for your mom. All without stress. You don't have to be rich to do this. You just need to plan. And if your income is smaller, that's okay. Use the same idea. Just adjust the numbers. Even with £4,000, you can still split wisely. This is not magic. It's not fast, but it works because it respects who you are, a human being, not a robot. In the next chapter, I'll explain how this plan helped me save, even when my salary was low. I'll show you how to start small and grow step by step, because wealth doesn't begin in your wallet. It begins in your mind. Chapter 4. The Smart Spending Plan. I was finally ready. Ready to control my money. Ready to stop feeling lost. Ready to stop waiting for one day. One day I'll save. One day I'll invest. One day I'll have enough. No more one day. I needed a plan. So I took a deep breath. I looked at my salary, £8,000, and I used the new rule. Arubadu, kurendu, பதினைந்து. Let me show you how I did it. Step 1. Fixed needs, 60%. I made a list. Rent, $2,000. Food, $1,200. Transport, $500. Electricity, $200. Phone, $150. Kids' school, $750. That was 4,800 pounds. Exactly 60% of my salary. Perfect. But I did one more thing. I added 10% extra. Why? Because life is full of surprises. Maybe the car breaks down. Maybe my wife gets sick. Maybe the blender dies. Maybe my sister gives birth, and I want to give a gift. That's why I planned 4,800 as fixed costs, but I saved 5,400 just in case. Step 2. Saving 10%. I took 800 pounds, and I put it in a special envelope. No touching. What's the point? Because one day I might lose my job. One day my child might need surgery. One day I might want to go on a trip. That's why I saved. Not to be rich, but to be ready. Step 3. Investment, 15%. I took 1,200 pounds. This was the most exciting part. I used it to grow my future. Some months, I joined a business group. Some months, I bought tools to learn a new skill. Some months, I supported a friend's small project. And sometimes, I just kept it aside until a good opportunity came. It wasn't about gambling. It wasn't about getting rich fast. It was about planting seeds. Tiny seeds for a better tomorrow. Step 4. Fun, 15%. Yes. Fun. This part changed everything. Before, when I spent money on fun, I felt guilty. Now, I smiled. Because I planned it. I bought good cheese for my kids. I took my wife to dinner once a month. I bought a pair of shoes I loved, and I didn't feel bad. Because it was part of the plan. Most people skip this part. They say, fun is a waste of money. But that's not true. If you cut all the fun, you will feel tired. You will feel angry. You will give up. We are not machines. We are human. We need moments of joy, even small ones. A good cup of coffee, a sweet for your child, a small trip to the park. These are not extra. They are important. They keep you motivated. They keep you happy. They keep you sane. When I followed this plan, something happened. I stopped asking, why am I always broke? I started saying, I know where my money is. I had peace. Not because I had more money, but because I had more control. And the best part? It worked even when my salary was low, because the secret is not in how much you earn. The secret is how much you keep and how you use it. So here's your mission. Try the 60 to 10 to 15 to 15 rule this month. Write it down, track it, live it. Even if you earn 4,000 pounds, you can still follow the rule. Just change the numbers, keep the percentages, and keep your power. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to use this plan. Even if your income is very low, even if you feel like it's impossible. Because smart spending isn't just for the rich, it's for anyone who wants to live better. Chapter 5. The 60 to 10 to 15 to 15 rule in action. Some people say, I can't save. I don't earn enough. Or, this rule is only for rich people. But that's not true. The 60 to 10 to 15 to 15 plan works. Even with a small income. How? Let me show you. Let's say you earn £4,000 per month. You still split your money the same way. 60% equals fixed needs, 2,400. 10% equals savings, 400. 15% equals investment, 600 கூறு 15%. லாட் 12 கூறு 15%. ஆச் 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 12 கூறு 15%. ஆ 12 கூறு 15%. ஈண்டு 12 கூறு 15%. மாடு 12 கூறு 15%. மாக்க மாஸ்க் முன் 12 கூறு 15%. மாடு 12 கூறு 15%. நா 12 கூறு 15%. பாயிண்ட் 12 கூறு 15%. 12 கூறு 15%. விஷ் 12 குறி 15%. ஷ் 12 குறி 15%. ஷ் 12 குறி 15%. ஷ் 12 குறி. Is it easy? Number. But is it possible? Yes. With one condition, you must control your spending. Let's start with fixed needs, 60%. Rent, food, transport, electricity. Use this part for only what's essential. Do you really need daily deliveries? Can you share Wi-Fi with a neighbor? Can you buy food in bulk once a week to save? Every small change helps. Because the goal is not to suffer. The goal is to spend smarter. Now the second part, savings, 10%. You might say, but I don't have extra money. That's the point. That's why you save. Maybe this month you only save 200. That's fine. The amount is not important. What's important is the habit. Saving money is like brushing your teeth. You do it often, not just when it's convenient. Over time, it builds protection. You'll thank yourself later. Third part, investment, 15%. This is where most people give up. They think investment means buying stocks, or starting a company, or having big money. Investment can be small, very small. Buy a book that teaches you a skill. Take an online course. Start selling something on the weekend. Buy tools for a hobby that can become income. Even investing time in learning is a form of investment. You are the most important asset you have. Now the fun part, fun, 15%. Some people feel guilty about this, but fun is not the enemy. Fun is your fuel. When you know you can enjoy £600 each month, you feel better. You stop feeling trapped. you stop feeling poor, and that changes how you act. It gives you hope. Because being rich isn't only about numbers, it's about feeling in control. Let me tell you about my friend Ahmed. He earns only £3,500, but he follows the plan with his own numbers. 60% equals 2,100. 10% equals 350. 15% equals 525 times 15% equals 525.000. He doesn't save big amounts, but he saves every month. He invests in his dream, a small online store for handmade products. Slowly, it's growing. And most of all, he enjoys his money. He takes his kids to the zoo. He buys popcorn at the cinema. He feels proud because he controls his money. His money doesn't control him. That's what this plan is about. It's not magic. It's not perfect, but it's a system. And systems work better than willpower. You don't need to think all day. You just follow the plan. Month after month, and slowly. You move forward. So try it. Write your income. Split it. Follow the rule for 1 month. Just one. Even if you make mistakes, keep going. Even if you fail 1 week, start again. Because this isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming stronger. In the next chapter, I'll tell you why many people still feel poor, even when they earn a lot. It's not always about money. It's about the mind. We'll talk about poor thinking and rich thinking. Get ready. Because wealth starts inside. Chapter 6. Poor thinking, rich thinking. I used to think I was poor because I didn't earn enough. But then I met people who earned more than me. And they were still broke. They had bigger salaries, but also bigger problems. More stress, more debt, more confusion. Why? Because they had poor thinking. Let me explain. A poor person and a rich person can both earn £10,000, but one of them is always worried, and the other feels free. The difference is not money. It's mindset. Let's look at some examples. Poor thinking, number 1. I deserve it. You had a long day. You're tired. So you say, I'll buy something nice. I deserve it. You go to the mall. You order food delivery. You buy new shoes. But next week, you're stressed again and broke. This is called emotional spending. You spend to feel better, but later you feel worse. Rich thinking. I deserve peace, not more stuff. A rich thinker doesn't buy to escape feelings. They buy when it makes sense. They rest, they walk, they call a friend. They don't solve problems with shopping. Poor thinking number 2. Everyone is doing it. Your friends go out every weekend. They wear expensive clothes. They all have the latest phone. So you want the same. You don't want to look poor. But copying others is dangerous. You don't know their real life. Maybe they are in debt. Maybe they are pretending. You try to match them. And you lose your freedom. Rich thinking. I do what's right for me. A rich thinker doesn't follow the crowd. They know their goals. They choose what they need, even if it looks different. Poor thinking. Number 3. It's too late. Many people say, I'm too old to change. I'll never save enough. I'm not smart with money. This is a trap. You believe the lie. So you never even try. You stay in the same place, year after year. Rich. Thinking. It's never too late to start. A rich thinker knows. Small steps matter. Even saving 100 pounds is a start. Even reading one book is a win. Even learning one new skill is growth. They believe in progress, not perfection. Poor thinking. Number 4. More money will fix everything. This one is common. People think, if I just had more money, all my problems would disappear. But that's not true. If you can't manage 4,000, you won't manage 10,000. You'll just spend more, lose more, stress more. Rich thinking. Better habits fix everything. A rich thinker knows. It's not about getting more. It's about using what you have. They grow their discipline. They grow their patience. And the money follows. So, what kind of thinker are you? Do you react with fear or plan with confidence? Do you follow the crowd or follow your purpose? Do you wait for one day or take a step today? Changing your mindset is the first step to changing your life. You don't need to become a genius. You just need to become aware. Aware of your thoughts, aware of your choices, aware of your direction. Because a poor mind creates a poor life, even with money. And a rich mind creates a rich life, even with little. In the next chapter, I'll tell you a story. A funny, sad, and real story. It's about how I wasted money just to fit in. You'll see how pressure from others can make us poor, even when we think we're just being nice. Chapter 7. Why you spend on things you don't love. Let me tell you a story. It's about breakfast. Yes, just breakfast. But this breakfast cost me half my salary. Every month. And I didn't even enjoy it. When I started my first job, I was excited. New people, new office, new life. And every morning, there was a tradition. Someone collected money from the whole team. Then they ordered breakfast, juice, sandwiches, snacks. It was fun at first. But I had a problem. I already ate breakfast at home. I didn't want more food. I didn't like their choices. And honestly, it was expensive. But still, I paid. Why? Because everyone else did. I didn't want to be different. I didn't want people to say, "Why aren't you paying? Is he cheap? Is he poor?" So I joined them. Every day. For 1 year. And that year, I spent thousands of pounds. on food I didn't want, just to feel normal. That was one of my biggest money mistakes, and I didn't see it until it was too late. Why do we do this? Why do we spend money on things we don't love? 3 reasons. Reason 1, fear of judgment. Humans are social creatures. We don't like feeling outside the group. So we copy what others do, even when it hurts us. We wear clothes we don't like, buy phones we don't need, eat food we don't enjoy. All to avoid one thing: feeling left out. But remember, your bank account doesn't care what others think. Reason 2, we want to look successful. We see others buying nice things, so we think, I should do that too. It feels good for 5 minutes, but then the credit card bill comes and the stress begins. That's not success. That's pressure. Real success is peace of mind, not proving anything to anyone. Reason 3, we never stop to ask why. Before you buy something, do you ask, do I really want this? Will this make me happy tomorrow? Is this for me or for someone else? Most people never ask. They just buy. And then wonder why they're broke. So, what's the solution? Simple. Only spend money on what you truly love. Don't spend to please others. Say yes to your joy, not their approval. Let me give you an example. I stopped joining the office breakfast. Some people noticed. They asked questions. I said kindly, I already ate at home, but thank you. After a while, they stopped asking. And guess what? Nothing bad happened. I saved money. I felt lighter. I took my kids out with that money and gave them memories instead of sandwiches I didn't like. This is the power of conscious spending. You don't have to be cheap. You don't have to say no to everything, but you say no to the things that don't matter, so you can say yes to the things that do. Think about it. Would you rather buy one thing you love or 5 things you don't care about? Would you rather impress strangers or give your family a better life? The answer is yours. So here's your mission. Look at your last 10 purchases. Ask yourself, did I love this? Did I need this? Would I buy it again? If the answer is no, you found your leak. Fix it and move forward. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to deal with surprise money, bonuses, gifts, inheritance. Most people waste it in 1 week. But you'll learn how to make it last a lifetime. Chapter 8. What to do with extra money. One day, something amazing happened. I opened my salary envelope and saw more money than usual. A bonus. I smiled. I felt proud. I wanted to celebrate. And what did I do? I spent it. Fast. New shoes, a dinner out, a gift for a friend, and it was gone. In 3 days, just like that. Later, I sat alone and thought, why did I waste it? Why didn't I save at least a part? Will I ever learn? That's when I realized extra money is a test, and most people fail it. Think about it. You get a bonus, a gift, a tax refund, a small inheritance. You feel rich for a moment, and then it disappears. Why? Because there's no plan, and money with no plan always runs away. Let me tell you a secret. The way you treat extra money shows your real money habits. If you waste it, you're not ready to be rich. If you use it wisely, you're already on the path. So what should you do? Here's a simple plan. Next time you get surprise money, follow this formula. 25, 25, 25, 25. 25% for celebration. Yes, celebrate. Enjoy a nice dinner. Buy yourself a gift. Do something fun, but stop at 25%. Not more. You worked hard. You deserve a treat, but not a disaster. 25% for saving. Put it away in a place you don't touch, not in your pocket, not in your drawer. This is for future peace, for emergencies, for protection. Remember, saved money is not sleeping. It's waiting. Waiting to save your life one day. 25% for investing. Grow your future. Take an online course. Buy tools for your hobby. Support a small project. Start something. Even if it's small, it's still movement. Don't just consume. Create. 25% for helping others. Yes. Give. Help your parents. Support a cousin. Buy books for your nephew. Give something to charity. Giving doesn't make you poor. It makes you grateful. It reminds you you have enough. You are enough. This 25-25-25-25 rule changed my life. Now, whenever extra money comes, I smile. Because I already know what to do. No stress, no guilt, just peace. Let me share one more story. My friend Mona received £5,000 as a wedding gift. She used $1,000 for a short trip. She saved $1,000. She invested $1,000 in photography equipment. And she gave $1,000 to her brother for his school. The last $1,000? She kept it for a surprise date with her husband. Guess what? 2 years later, she's running a small photo business. Her brother is in college. Her marriage is happy. Why? Because she didn't panic. She didn't waste. She planned. So next time money comes to you by surprise, don't rush. Breathe. Then ask, what will bring me the most joy tomorrow? Not just today. And follow the plan. Because money is not just about buying. It's about building. In the final chapter, I'll tell you the truth. What's the real secret behind wealth? It's not the salary, not the bonus, not even the plan. It's something deeper. It's your mindset. Chapter 9. The Real Key to Wealth. Let me ask you a question. What makes someone rich? Is it a high salary, a big house, a luxury car? Number. I've seen people with all of that. Still living in fear, still full of stress, still feeling poor. So, what's the real key? It's not money. It's mindset. Wealth starts in the mind, not in your bank. I've learned this the hard way. I used to think, if I earn more, I'll be happy. So I worked harder. I tried to get raises. I chased extra jobs. And sometimes, the money came. But the peace didn't, because my thinking was still broken. Let me tell you what I learned. Wealth is not about how much you have. It's about how well you use what you have. Wealth is not about spending less. It's about spending on the right things. Wealth is not about fear. It's about freedom. Do you want to feel rich? Start here. Know where your money goes. Spend with purpose. Save before you need to. Invest before you're ready. Celebrate what you have without shame. But most important, believe that you can do it. Many people don't. They say, I'll never be rich. It's too late for me. I'm not good with money. These are not facts. They are limits. And limits live in your mind. A rich mindset says, I can learn. I can grow. I can start small. I can get better. And it's true. Because wealth is not a race. It's a journey. Some walk, some run, some fly. But we all move if we start. Let's go back. What did we learn in this story? We learned that you don't need a budget. You need a conscious plan. You don't need to stop spending. You need to spend with love. You don't need more money. You need more awareness. You don't need to copy others. You need to follow your values. You don't need to feel guilty. You need to feel in control. And now, you have the tools. The 60 to 10 to 15 to 15 rule. The 25 to 25 to 25 to 25 bonus plan. The smart versus poor thinking. The real meaning of needs and wants. But tools are not enough. You need action. So take the first step. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. To notice, to ask, to choose. You see, being rich is not about what you can buy. It's about how you feel when you open your wallet. Do you feel scared or confident? It's about the life you're building, not just the things you're buying. It's about waking up and saying, I know where my money is going. I know what I'm doing. I'm not confused anymore. That is true wealth. Peace of mind, clear decisions, freedom to choose. So as this story ends, your story begins. You don't need to wait. You don't need to be rich first. Start with what you have. Spend smarter. Think clearer. Grow slowly. And one day, without stress, without fear, you'll look back and say, I'm not rich because of luck. I'm rich because I changed my mind.